Hi guys and gals, this is Rachel Kirkland, the Modern Shaman, and thank you for joining me for a question and answer time. So here is the next question. I'm doing a couple of these in a row today. Hi Rachel. Let's see, here we go. I've got this question which I'm hoping you might use for your YouTube Q&A video. Spirit is asking me to take new actions in my life and to go in directions that are outside my comfort zone. This is in relation to purpose, calling, and life focus. Do you have any tips or guidance on how to navigate this kind of monumental change? Monumental change! Tips. Okay. So let's do this one. All right, let's jump into this. I'm going to sit up a little bit. I like having my feet flat on the ground. So, let's see what Spirit has to say about this. Monumental change. This is awesome. This question is awesome because I feel like this is when people come to me. Or they come to anyone seeking guidance when there are times of our life that there's just a ton of change being asked or that's going on around us or in our lives or in the lives of those we love. So I think it's a great question, and I'll tune in and see what Spirit has to say. Okay. So the person who asked this question, I won't out them on YouTube, but you know who you are who asked this, and it's funny because when I tune in and quiet down, I start hearing this person's guide speaking to me, and their guide is so funny, like the way that they talk. So I have no doubt that this person's always hearing this guide in their head because it's a real conversational type of persona to this guide. But anyways, first thing that comes through is don't stop the flow. Okay, don't stop the momentum that's going. There's a sense that when this change is present in your life, it's present because it is the right time. It is the perfect time. And Spirit wants to hit that nail on the head right away, because there's a sense of a lot of times we'll want change and we have this awareness of man, I'm bored with things, or things are just, not going in the right direction, or I would love to have more excitement in my life, or I would love to have more money in my life, or I would love to have something else. And then when Spirit starts bringing on the change that is required to have something different, to not stay in the same place you are, it requires change. And if you're wanting it in a monumental way and Spirit starts to try and bring it on, first thing that they're saying that we hit as humans is this awareness of oh crap, maybe not now. Maybe that's what I thought I wanted, but let's just wait a little bit till it gets a little more comfy, or let me just tiptoe into it, or just I'm going to put my toe in this water and make sure it's warm enough before I jump in, right? And it's humorous from the other side. It's this is what you wanted, and now we're just putting it here, telling you what to do, bringing some things into your awareness, and then you're kind of stepping back. So there's a sense that first they want to say, if it's coming to you, it's coming to you because the timing is relevant for you. It's right for you. There is no inopportune time. Even if it feels like it's all at once for a purpose reason. It's all at once because that's the way that's in your highest good in that moment. Okay, you have to trust that. So if change is coming, you are ready for that change. You are in a space that's it may be asking more of you. It may be stretching you in a bit, because that's what growth is. It's stretching, right? Remember growth pains when you were a kid? I didn't get many of those because I'm 5 foot tall, but my kids do, my boys do, and they'll go through those times where it's painful because their body is physically growing so fast. And there is that sense that happens in our spiritual, physical, and non-physical life, that there may be growing pains of just stretching you beyond what you're used to in your comfort zone. Okay? So don't stop the flow. Know that the timing is relevant, that you are capable of the change as the change is coming. Okay? Let me tune into what else, how to navigate it. Okay. Stay on the spectrum of things. Stay on the side of fun, childlike wonder instead of fear. Okay? So, I don't know why they're giving me this image, but they're giving me the image of a spider. Okay? And when you're little and you don't know what bugs are, or if you've never had an adult be like, oh, the bug, there's a bug in the house. If you've never had that experience, if you watch a child who doesn't know they're supposed to fear something, they don't fear it. They haven't been preconditioned that that's scary, or that that's why we kind of teach kids about safety, right? Don't touch that, electrical outlet or whatever. And they're showing this sense of those children who were not necessarily predisposed to seeing a bug and being fearful about a bug, or them never seeing an adult being fearful about a bug. They go up and they're curious. They're like, they poke at the spider. They want to, And I'm not talking about, don't go in your head to some horrible man-eating spider. Just a little house spider or something that's not going to bother you. They're curious. And there's a sense that Spirit's wanting to say, stay on that side of the spectrum that feels curious about these new monumental changes in your life. Okay? I've used the example before in a video I did called up-leveling. When things are going so well that it's almost like, uh-oh, when's the other shoe gonna drop? This is too good to be true. Like, oh my God. If you're at that place, Spirit always uses this image with me of being on the top of a roller coaster. And I don't know if you like roller coasters. Maybe you don't. But I always do. I love that thrill energy. And I'm always the one that's like, I'm going to put my freaking hands up. I'm just going to ride this roller coaster. I'm just going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. I'm in the freaking seat. I'm like at the top of the little tick, 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 tick mountain. I'm just going to ride it. And I'm just going to feel the air. And I'm just going to go for it. You know what I mean? So that energy, Spirit is saying, like, as the third thing, to stay in that energy of fun and freedom and newness and expansion and let's just do it. Let's just jump in. Let's just dive in. Stay there. That will make you enjoy the process. There's a sense that when the changes are coming, the changes are coming. All right? It's like, and it may be change that looks like you said this has to do with your life calling and life purpose. It can also be someone passing away and the change that you thought, like, I didn't want this change, but here it is. Now I'm living alone, or, a relationship breaks up, or whatever the change may be. And yet, when it's there, it's like the change is already its own instrument. The catalyst has already happened. So your reaction of how you play with it is yours to play with. So, and I'm using that word play because Spirit's really trying to push that energy of the child of like, go and grow and expand and be finger painted with it. Just see where it goes. As adults, we have such a heaviness that we put on new experiences. Like, well, I got to figure it out, and I got to spreadsheet out my money and make sure that this is going to make logical sense. And a child, it doesn't always make logical sense. And sometimes we do fall, but that's okay. Like, it doesn't ruin anything. It becomes a part of the experience. And once again, your energy about the change becomes how you live out the change. I'm going to say that again because Spirit's like, where? So your energy about the change, how you feel about change, about monumental change, becomes what you live out as your experience or as your life. Okay? Because the change is already there. So The key is staying in an energy that enjoys the change, that is excited for the change, that is enlivened and sparked by the newness, by the opportunities, by the thrill. So I'll go through those 3 things Spirit said so far. So one is stay in the flow, like keep it going. Another thing is the timing is perfect. Don't talk yourself out of the timing. And the third thing is that thrilled, childlike energy of staying playful and excited. And then the fourth thing are kind of that mini, if I'm doing an outline, A, B, C, and then this would be like number 1 of C, is staying in that awareness that your attitude about change becomes how you live your day-to-day experience of life while that's going on. Okay? And that's key as to how you navigate. And that was your question, how to navigate through it. Stay in an energy where you're aware that it's not just about what's happening, it's about your idea of how you view change. How you view it. If you view it as freedom and growth and fun and expansion and mystery and like a game, or if you view it like responsibility and like, oh God, I could totally screw up, and this heaviness or the lightness. Put as much lightness into it as you can. It's your experience. Like, who the heck cares what it looks like to everybody else? You're the one that's got to live that stuff. You got to live it. You got to wake up. You got to put your shoes on. You got to do it, okay? So you get to be the one that chooses how you experience it, no matter what it's supposed to look like to the outside world. Like I said, even, an experience of having a loved one die, like you're the one that has to live in the life of the one who's mourning, or the one who's going through the change, or the one who's got to step out and get the loan for the new business. You're the one that has to do it. So you get to decide what's best for you, what works for you. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to work a lot better if you put energy of light into there, of lightness, of mirth, of fun, of joy into it, even when there are decisions that feel large. Okay? And the last thing Spirit wants me to say before we go on this is that I'm just going to say the phrase they're saying in my head, which is, you're not responsible for anyone else's happiness but your own. Isn't that funny? Because you are everyone else also. But there's an energy that they're feeling like you feel weighted down by the responsibility of others in this decision making, or in this monumental change, meaning maybe you're a mother and you have kids you got to support, or there's this energy of taking care of others that feels weighty on this and your idea of life change. And they're showing this perspective that your happiness, people seeing you do what you want to do, making a change that feels right for you, is very inspiring for others, okay? Whether they know it vocally or not, it is. It's an inspiration energy to see someone else create, to see someone else step out and grow and expand and allow themselves and give themselves permission to keep going. It is inspiring. It may trigger fear in others, but it is also an inspiring energy. And the idea that your happiness is paramount, because when you are happy, when you're in your energy of joy, of doing this for yourself, of stepping out, it trickles down onto everyone else. You know this, but it does. If you're in it sincerely, if you're sincerely happy, all those around you feel it. And their reactions and the reactions of others that may be around you during your monumental change is theirs. That's their life, and those are their choices and their free will of how they choose to view things or see things from their perspective. So stay true to you. You already know that, but I will end with that. Love you so much. Blessings.